Now this video is a short one, and it's actually for one of my subscribers, Mr. Chris Hewitt. After my video about variable ND filters the other day, Chris contacted me and brought out some interesting points. And he pointed out this morning that if you put two normal circular polarizers, two normal 72mm, or is it 67mm circular polarizers in this case, I just happen to have some spare. If you put them together, one on piggybacking the other, is this a variable filter? A variable ND filter for that matter? Let me turn you round and we'll see. First of all, and these are going to be handheld because these filters are much larger than the little Sony A7R4. The RX100 Mark7 actually has. Now this is a normal circular polarizer. You can see it's having a very marginal effect on the reflections on the trees in the distance. It's hardly noticeable. Now I'm going to screw in the other one onto it. Suitable background noises of screwing in one filter to another. And now I'm going to put this in front of the lens again. And I'm going to rotate the outer one relative to the inner one. And notice there's a colour shift happening. The polarization is hardly noticeable if it's there at all, but there is definitely a colour shift. It's quite blue here, and as I rotate it, the image is warming up, and it's quite warm here. So that is not a variable ND filter. It's an impersonation of a variable ND filter that isn't a variable ND filter. It's a variable temperature, colour temperature filter, if you like. I think I've just created something new. Now, Chris's point was that he'd tried this and seen what I've just shown you. Now, I can't screw them together, but I'm actually going to hold them one against the other. And so the threads are both pointing outwards in this case. Now, this has got one reversed relative to the other, and what I'm going to do is rotate, if I can. Now I'm rotating one of them relative to the other, and what we're seeing is a lot of jittering on my part. The variable ND-ness of it is now evident to the maximum point, that there's virtually no light coming through and a heavy blue cast to the image. And as I rotate it, the ISO on my camera is actually changing to reflect, trying to balance the light up. But I'll turn auto ISO off and try that again, because that's messing it up. Let's just set it on ISO 100. And it's now set to ISO 100, so as I rotate these filters, the darkening, or effectively the variable ND-ness of the two filters rotating one against the other, is quite obvious. And as you can see, I've now created a variable ND filter from two circular polarizers. Now I'll put auto ISO back on because I'm about to need it to work again, so let me just spin this round. Zoom myself out because that's scary even for me. So getting back to fully zoomed out. Auto eye tracking's working again, everything's working. So if I put two filters like this, I've got a variable colour temperature filter. Novel. Not sure I have a reason to use that. But if I have two circular polarizers and I rotate them relative to each other when one is reversed relative to the other one, then lo and behold, we do create a variable ND filter. Excellent. So Chris, in answer to your question, you're perfectly right. They have to be reversed for it to work as a variable ND filter. Anyway, that was just a short one. Filling in time, boring everybody silly. Hopefully not. But anyway, I hope you found that interesting, and I'll move on to the next video. See you later. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, and please also subscribe so that you get notified when I upload new videos.